And but yeah, no. So we go out of our way to like, it's kind of like like we said a lot of good things.
No.
Yo, we gotta cut that.
Yeah.
Yo, we gotta cut that.
Yeah. Let's be silent for a second. That's getting cut.
Dude, you can't say that.
Yeah, we're gonna have to rate you in so much.
I didn't say though.
We gotta fucking.
I know, but I'm just saying. I didn't say.
Who else would you
Which
be
you're
calling?
allowed to say on YouTube though. You just can't.
Dude.
I can't do it. All right, go ahead.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the inaugural episode of Public Access. This is the show that will be, for the moment, it'll be sort of our catch-all show where we just do whatever doesn't fit with any other programming we have or haven't even started yet. It'll be sort of a testing ground as well, where we try things to see if they work. If you've listened to the story beneath already, my voice should be fairly familiar to you.
Sultry, docile.
Yes, that's how my voice has always been described. I think you meant dulcet.
I don't know how to say words.
Yeah.
We've learned this by practicing doing this.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I don't
Hey,
think
you
you know
need
what that
words.
word means.
But my name is Kane. Like the pro wrestler, but I had it first. And he's a crazy right-wing nut job now, so
You do an episode.
On
Yeah.
Kane, on Glenn Jacobs. You want to do
Yeah.
Kane lore?
It's gotta be Kane.
so for the record, it's my name. Okay, WWE may hold a copyright to it for certain things, but it's mine. I had it first.
The Infectious Laugh is introducing the world to John the Younger.
Yo.
And then I am, of course, John the Elder.
Youngers, all of our voices are in the episode. Youngers is the voice of the middle section, the Dublin portion, and
My voice is the voice of God.
yeah, he Elder does the miscellaneous voices. In
Like the
episode.
radio voice that you heard in that episode, that was all him.
Yep.
So thank him for that dialogue.
Can we do a little insider baseball for a minute? When I was recording that, because we did that voice once upon a time in college, and
What?
I had used that voice before, and I could do it really fast. It was fine, but like reading the script that I had, I was trying to do it, and I couldn't do it. So you know what I had to do? I'm gonna tell myself. I had to slowly say the words, then speed up the audio on that.
Well, when we did that's been like 13 years
Yeah.
something since we
God.
did that. You were a bit younger back then.
I had more spry in my step.
Yeah,
I didn't hear it.
we were
I didn't
also
notice it.
Yeah,
you
you
know.
wouldn't. I was careful not to make sure I didn't sound like I was recording like an Alvin and the Chipmunks album.
just like in a mood, and we were just sort of making stuff up. We didn't really have a script. We were just
Yeah, which is so funny that that's one of those things that we can't reference too much. I don't think we could ever show anybody that, but
no.
It is on YouTube if you want to look for it, though.
what's that? You idea what we're talking about.
Yeah,
But
yeah. We would probably get copy struck on some things.
Yes.
And
yeah, and in
All I'm
trouble for
saying-
others.
It is out there if you want to look for it.
they don't even know what they're looking for.
We're losing the plot.
Yeah,
Losing the plot. What is this show about? Why are we doing this?
Yes, that's the point of this episode, is to talk about what this channel.
Well, what the story
is-
beneath is going to be, and then what
Yeah.
is public access going to be?
Yeah, like I said, public access will be will be where we test things. We're going to try
Shoot the
different
shits.
things. Yeah. Some things that happen on public access may get spun off into their own thing later on if we're successful enough to have multiple things going
You
at
better
once.
fucking listen. It's all about them watch hours, babe.
Yeah,
I'll
so
play at infinity.
It will also be a place for all of our preliminary research that didn't make it into the video. anything that we looked into and we couldn't find a spot for it in the story beneath, it will be on this show.
Yeah, right. So our last episode, if you haven't watched that yet, I don't know what you're doing here. It's a little bit more serious in tone than this is. A little bit more buttoned up. It's highly scripted, heavy detail in the research department. And so that video exists. The editing, we try to do better than what this editing's probably going to be. While this is the more kind of, we're going to come in here. We're going to take things that we learned from our research that we didn't get to fit in the video. We're going to talk about it. And then we're going to talk about some other things too that are like related to that subject.
Yeah.
So we might talk about a few lost cities later on down the line. We might, what else would be like closely related to this that we might be diving into?
I don't want to get too into it, but we do have an episode on Donnelly planned.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
full blown just talking about him because we only had like 4 or 5 minutes in the video.
Yeah. So like one thing we will be doing on this channel is we will be two things that Story Beneath will do. It will criticize other people's ideas, and it will sort of be used as a method to express our own opinions on these matters. We are criticizing people, but we're going to do it honestly.
Honestly and well researched.
Yeah.
So we're going to try our best to avoid personal attacks. We will not promise anything because some of these things that these people say are batshit crazy.
Except for Plato. Fuck that guy.
Yeah, not a fan of Plato.
Stupid.
Honestly, we haven't recorded that episode yet, but I'm gonna have some not so nice things to say about Plato.
Oh, really?
But yeah. So in public access, it'll depend on the number of research, but there will be a number of episodes about the Story Beneath that goes into all the research that we did. We're going to cite our sources. We're going to go over our sources to give everyone an idea of how we came to the conclusions we came to. If we're gonna do it fairly, we will definitely make mistakes at some points. But if it gets to a point where that piles up, where we have enough mistakes, then there might be some kind of format where we address those mistakes openly and talk about them straight up.
So that's Story Beneath. And then public access is where we go off the chain. It's where we get intense, where we can get a little silly, because we're a bunch of silly boys in this room.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know about going off the chain. We're the two of us in our late 30s. I don't think we're
I can still go. I can still go. I can go. I don't even know what a chain is.
Yeah, Story Beneath is narrative-based, and it will be covering sometimes very serious topics, sometimes lighthearted topics, but misinformation, conspiracy theories. There will be cryptids at some point. We don't have that scheduled for now, but there will be some cryptids at some point. UFOs, aliens will come up.
Yeah, and another thing is like with Story Beneath especially, I don't think like we can't just do like a generality thing. Like it can't be like we're doing ghosts. We're doing Bigfoot. It would be like hyper focusing on like a Bigfoot would be like, we got to do the story of the skunk ape. Where did it come from? And maybe that's like related to the region's other Bigfoot lore, but we couldn't just do it like an all encompassing video on Bigfoot because that would take forever to actually tell that story and the truth behind it.
Yeah. And it's not necessarily what we would, again, we can't really disprove Bigfoot. You can't really critique or debunk the idea of Bigfoot, but you can debunk someone's claim about Bigfoot.
And also too, like it's one of those things where I think over time as we keep doing this, we may have 10 different videos covering Sasquatch and Sasquatch-like creatures.
Mm-hmm. And well, let's just be honest, it also just gives us, the more specific we are, the more potential shows we have.
Right.
It lets us
we gotta stretch these ideas out, man. Like we got content machines.
Yeah, it'll cover a lot of subjects. Yeah. It will not go into, like, we'll never do an episode on a person. In the Atlantis episode, we talk about Ignatius Donnelly, we talk about Olaf Rudbeck, but we're criticizing their ideas. We're not criticizing them.
And in fact, I think we go out of the way a lot of times to talk about, and like to bring to light some of the positive aspects of like, Rudbeck, for example, for his time, doctor,
Yeah.
maps, like geographer, like he was a geographist, a linguist.
Geographer?
Geographer.
Yeah, that.
I will have some positive things to say actually about Ignatius Donnelly. I didn't think I would when I started this, but I've actually come to find him to be a pretty interesting person.
I think it goes into it a little bit in the story beneath, right?
We're very neutral. We give information about them, but we're very neutral on it. We don't give opinions about them or their,
I'm not wrong. Donnelly was the dude who brought Atlantis to America, right?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we kind of just state. Yeah, we really don't really state an opinion. We're just like, here's what some of the stuff that he did, some of the accomplishments. That he
I'm
had.
going to talk a lot more about him as a person because one thing that's important when you're understanding someone's thoughts on it is to understand them. Is to understand, the kind of person they are, to sort of understand what defines their ideology and how their ideas came about. So, we will be talking about, and he was an interesting guy. We'll have to, save more for the episode. But
that's kind of what public access is going to be. Sometimes it might be a story that one of us is telling. Sometimes multiple ones of us will have a story to come in with, and then the other ones will comment on, and we'll have conversations about. And sometimes it'll be a lot more fast and loose, like this, where we're just kind of bantering back and forth and about given subjects. So,
yeah, we already have plans for some very loose episodes. I don't want to reveal anything, but this is not going to be a strictly very serious show where we just pretty much jot down research notes.
Content machines.
Now, the story beneath
hours,
the story beneath is going to be it's going to be more serious, and it's going to be
the main course.
Yeah, it's not going to be like a consistent release schedule. It takes as long as it takes. It's done when we think it's ready, and we'll put it out when we put it out, and we might just try to cram some random content in between just to.
That's what you guys want, and we want to feed you that.
Y'all want to get into the next idea for the next story beneath we have?
No, we're going to announce that later.
Okay, you want to?
So, yeah. Yeah, we got that planned for an announcement later. Because we might be, if the schedule's correct, we're a month out almost.
If we follow the schedule that we made ourselves.
if
we're already behind on, by the way.
We could, just a few hours.
Yeah, just a little bit.
An hour or two behind. But... yeah, so I think we saved that. But I think so. Yeah, in summary, Story Beneath is more of like a documentary style, or for YouTube, and this is more of like a laid back podcast vibe. I mean, we'll put some images that are associated with what we're talking about up on the screen, so you have something to stare at. But yeah, I think that kind of sums up what this is and what it is not.
Well, to address, I already mentioned it a little bit earlier, but to address things we won't be doing on Story Beneath, we won't be doing religion.
Yeah.
That's impossible to disprove, for one, and for two, we just don't care. Like, we want this, overall it's supposed to be entertaining. We want this to be entertaining skepticism. Which is kind of like my initial idea was I was just kind of sick of like angry talking heads,
right?
Like no one ever, they don't convert anyone. They're just preaching to a choir.
Yeah, it's an echo chamber.
Yeah, and I was like, I don't want to be that. This needs to be entertaining. We're going to be skeptical in a non-mean way,
right?
Just fun and entertaining.
And I think you'll find by like our personalities, some of us are like, there's certain subjects that I think that you might be surprised on some of the takes on what we find while we research. Because if we go start researching and we got like research that says, wow, this looks like there might be something to this, we would just come out and be like, this is pretty sketchy, but here's all we know. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So we do want anyone and everyone to be able to listen to this. I can't say, honestly, our preferences and our politics and our beliefs will come out. We're not shy about talking about what we believe and what we think is right. It'll come out here and there. I mean, we'll be honest about it. We're all progressives. It won't take you long to figure that out, probably, but we're not going to exclude anyone. We want people who disagree with us to listen.
Right. And I know like some of the big like, misinformation campaigns out there that people would want us to cover. It's also like one of those things where we got to like, especially recent ones, like we got to wait for like information, right? Like,
yeah, it's a bit
like
too
we
early
can't just jump into RFK's misinformation, because that honestly would probably need to be a whole story about the misinformation around vaccines in general.
That's where that would start.
We can't jump into Epstein because we just don't know enough about that. Like there's not enough solid information. We can't jump into the Charlie Clerk assassination and what happened there, because there's just not enough information to clear up all of the bullshit that surrounds it, which is what our ultimate goal is, I think, is to separate bullshit from truth. But we can't do things that are that current events, because we can't just talk about it here in a short form and bullshit about it with no information, because we're not going to deliver that to you guys.
Yeah. No, we're not going to
want to have all the information in front of us that we possibly can, and where we think, okay, we can make an assessment about what's happening here.
We are not pundits. We are not political pundits. Yeah. That is not what our goal is to be.
Sometimes the stories overlap into politics. Yes, absolutely. But
we're not professional comedians. We're not professional commentators. We're not anything like that. We're just three middle-class adult males who are attempting to make something interesting.
Yeah.
That's it. We have no
skin in the game.
Yeah, no skin in the game.
Yeah, we have no. Well, I mean, I'm a psyop, but
yeah. I do think this kind of leads us into something though, because the sort of culture that we want to, if we do get a good fan base, the culture that we want in our sort of fan community.
I don't think we have to be super specific with it. We just don't want any culture war bullshit. Our goal is not to make you angry. We don't want to make you angry.
This isn't rage bait, clickbait content. And if some of the stuff in here makes you angry, you need to reflect on yourself a little bit. I spent half of this cursing and making dick jokes. So, I mean, you really need to look inside yourself about what's making you angry right now. Like,
yeah, that's the general thesis of everything is just don't be a dick.
Yeah, don't be a weirdo.
It's really that easy. Don't be a dick.
Don't be a weirdo. It's that simple.
That being said, with our comments, we encourage discussion. We encourage discourse. No name calling. No, whether hate speech, obvious, but no, don't call each other stupid. No one's stupid here. Everyone's here. That's not true. That's not true. We're all stupid here.
Yeah, and everyone's here because they're curious.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's why you would click on a video about the story of Atlantis, is because you're curious about it, right?
Yeah.
Like that's why. I don't know.
Yeah. Any sort of homophobia, racism, absolutely not tolerated.
Obviously.
Name calling, not tolerated. Again, don't be a dick. Let's just have fun. It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be entertaining. Let's just stick to that.
I think we will have to reiterate these rules later on if we tackle some of the subjects we want to tackle.
Of course. Yeah, because there are things like, that are going to get political that I think have a ton of misinformation around it. And some things that you would never think could possibly get political, and you start looking into it and you're like, oh, this has an overlap
with the Atlantis stuff.
Yeah, like we didn't expect Atlantis to go where it went.
No, it changed. And here, to slightly address misconception, we all fully support the First Amendment. That does not apply to our YouTube comment section. That's not how the First Amendment works.
That's my favorite.
That does not apply to our
God here.
It does not apply to our YouTube. Yeah.
It will not. If we have a subreddit, it will not apply to that. If you do the things that I mentioned before, you will be banned
and peed on.
Yeah,
then we'll own you.
We are going to moderate strictly. We're not like, you can say whatever you want. You have to be respectful in the comments, in anything.
We are here for discussion.
Yeah.
Okay. I know some of these that we plan on making are going to be a war zone in the comments, and it's going to take hours and hours and hours of moderation, because people don't know how to fucking act normal on the internet nowadays.
But if you see something in one of our videos and you think we're wrong, tell us
out. Yeah, please.
Yeah,
please.
Be like, well, hey, actually this, like, or whatever. Like,
if you think there was information that we didn't see or we overlooked,
find, or be like, hey, this thing about Atlantis you didn't cover is interesting. Tell us. Maybe we'll read it. Maybe we will cover it.
Yeah, maybe we'll throw it on one of these podcasts.
Yeah. And again, just because your correction may not be right, you may tell us this, and we may look into it, and we might, okay, yeah. This is
not true.
This isn't true. And we're in that case, if you things like, hey, why didn't you acknowledge my correction? Well, because you weren't right.
No name calling except for us. You weren't right. And fuck you.
Yeah, well, that's not name calling.
You piece of shit. There's a name call.
That's a name calling.
That's a name.
Yes.
Yeah.
None of that. None of that. But again, like Younger alluded to earlier, we're not perfect. We're going to try our best to avoid doing those things too. But some of the subjects we cover and some of the people that we cover piss us off.
Yeah.
And that may come out from time to time. We're going to do our best to avoid it. If we do, feel free to call us out. If we stoop to that, feel free to call us out. But we're going to try our best not to.
Yeah, of course.
I'm probably going to stoop to that.
Again,
on accident.
We will.
I'm going to make a conscious effort not to.
Yeah, it's inevitable that it will.
Talking about these big political figures or people who are famous is very different from you going into the comment section and directly talking to someone and calling them a slur or calling them stupid. Yeah. These are not the same things.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not what we want. Again, if we ever do merch, we'll put this on a shirt. Don't be a dick. Just don't be a dick. It's really that simple.
Dude, if we ever make some merch, I am making 100% sure it is wearable shit, because YouTuber merch is the ugliest shit in the world, dude. I will make 100% sure it's a cool design.
That could be a fun thing, because like I said, sometimes we'll just shoot the shit on this if we need to get content out, because we're going to try to give you content on a weekly basis. That could be a fun one where we just look at other YouTubers' merch. Is that offensive to them?
There's no way we can do that. They could not do that. It would make people so mad.
Would it copyright strike us?
No, it wouldn't copyright strike us, but it would make people mad.
We are going to occasionally do like a rant episode where one of us is like, just like there's a subject that we're really pissed about, and the other two are just going to sit here and let the other one rant about that for...
Yeah, it's going to be one of those things, too, where it's like... And again, those episodes probably aren't going to be the most well-researched.
No.
But it's going to be one of those things where, again, call us out. I mean... Like, we saved that for the big one, for the most part.
Younger already has one of those episodes, like, written and locked and ready to go. So that might happen in the next few months. It depends on how quickly we need to get stuff out. Yeah, there will be event episodes where... We might even allow some like maybe a situation in the future where we have a big community where like you can send us in your like
send us in like comments and
your
stuff
event,
like that.
the thing you need to vent about, and
we'll talk about it.
We'll vent for you.
Yeah.
We just to give you guys a bit of an idea of what we're going to do here. We do have some things we're going to go over here just to give you a sample.
Sometimes what we'll do here is we'll take news stories from, that need a kind of a skeptical eye.
Yeah, so it'll be pretty common probably, at least
we'll stick
once a month, where we're either news stories or TikToks or where we just go over things in the media that have a bit of a...
That are somewhat more recent. Like, granted, we do record a lot of these at once or over time and release them as we kind of bank them. But...
I feel as we've already dated ourselves with some of the references we've made.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious when we're recording this.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's fine. I mean,
it's completely fine. I'm just saying.
What we're about to do here will be a common thing of us where we will go over things that are currently in the media or the news that we think deserve a bit of a skeptical look.
Or sometimes we'll just look at TikToks and shoot the shit on them.
Right. Yeah. So this is a story I wanted to bring to you guys, and obviously this is like an official NASA announcement, which gives it some weight. A sample collected by NASA's Perseverance Mars rover from an ancient dry riverbed from a crater whose name I can't pronounce says that it's the best evidence of ancient microbial life on Mars that they've ever seen. I think they stopped short of just saying that it's, Yeah. And really, I mean, there's nothing to argue about with the initial story. But what I wanted to get your guys' opinion on. Have you ever heard the theory that NASA will do these announcements almost as like a distraction?
Yeah,
sometimes they'll hold it.
I've heard those.
What do you guys think about that?
NASA itself? I don't know.
No,
I trust NASA pretty heavily. I do.
NASA's not that deeply ingrained in the political machine.
I do think that, I don't know if y'all heard about the Mexican government stuff. I think it was in, when was this? It was like 2020, right? 2021-ish. Whenever the Mexican government showed the real alien dead body. Y'all remember this?
Oh, yeah, when those guys found
it. Yeah,
supposedly.
it was a smoke screen for the president at the time. He was widely unpopular.
Which was also just ridiculous because it wasn't a thing.
Well, yeah, it was a scam, and he saw it as an opportunity to use it.
Yeah.
But, again, NASA is not popular among politicians, particularly not our current government.
Kind of feel like that they just made this same announcement like last year, where again they found evidence of what I don't know. Science is boring and slow and long. It does seem a little weird to me.
Well, aren't you an alien guy?
Yes, yeah,
but
it can be sometimes.
The reason I don't think this is a distraction because nobody cares about that.
No, dude.
Scientists do, but the public doesn't care.
Yeah, right, yeah. We had like government disclosure like 3 months ago where U.S. officials testified in front of Congress that aliens were real and everyone could just be fucked about it.
Now, is that video of a UFO being hit by Hellfire? Is that video of a UFO having a Hellfire missile bounce off of it a distraction? Absolutely, it is. Every bit of that is. Every UFO sighting video that comes out from the government, it's absolutely a fucking distraction.
Yeah. Do you even think Tic Tac was a
distraction? Yes, all of it.
Under Biden administration.
Yeah, I think it's an easy go-to. You can rile up the conspiracy theorists and they start talking about that shit and like, don't look up,
don't pay attention to how you can't afford milk anymore. Don't worry about that.
Look at this. But you don't feel like NASA would be, because then they also had a couple years ago that other announcement where it's like we found it. Like they always announce that we have this big announcement. To me, sometimes I'm always like a little disappointed by it.
No,
you know what I mean? Like where it's like we found, like when they said that we have this huge announcement. It's like what? It's like at the bottom of the ocean. There's these life forms that are made at they're not carbon based. They're made out of pneumonia.
Yeah,
or they're based. They're pneumonia based, and it's like
to be fair,
interesting.
Ammonia?
Yeah, pneumonia. Like ammonia.
Ammonia
is a bacterial infection.
We all know this. I don't know why there's a microphone in front of me. Get this out of my fucking face.
Pneumonia.
Yeah, ammonia-based life form, right? There was something like that.
Well, again, to scientists, that is very
or methane-based. It was something like that.
Sure.
Arsenic-based, yeah.
Which it wasn't.
It wasn't? I
no,
the story, but
so NASA does lie. This is
no, they just... It's been a long time since I actually read about this, so I may not be right.
We don't have to talk about this if
I think
are
they
not
just
100%
like,
sure.
They weren't 100% sure at the time.
Okay.
And when that headline was more explosive than, we realize it's actually not.
It might be.
That headline doesn't blow up.
It's like this headline, like this announcement. Well, stop. When NASA says we have a huge announcement, everyone kind of stops and does listen, and it's in the news cycle for a day.
Yeah, but then everyone
news
just goes
doesn't
back
last very long.
Yeah, because their news sucks, man. It's like kind of dull. Like just wait. Wait.
No, dude. News in general just doesn't last very long anymore. Like some crazy shit could happen. The White House could explode tomorrow, and it's going to be in the news cycle for 3 days.
This can explain to me why NASA. Maybe to like justify their funding, they have to be like, look what we found.
I think there's a multitude of reasons.
Yeah, but we haven't proved it yet. But this is what it might be, and they have to make it sound exciting.
Well, they do have to make those big announcements in order to sort of drum up public sentiment for them. Yeah.
And two, also, it is interesting to people who study this shit. Like, for normal people like us, we don't care if a fucking asteroid has a small microbiome on it.
I actually do, but I find that very interesting.
Oh, no, that's interesting, but it's not world-changing, world-shattering news that's going to, like, change how you view the world.
I just find it cool. But
but
a lot of it's, too, they just have to, they have to cross their T's and dot their I's.
Yeah.
So we're going to stay with NASA for this next story. Okay. This is going to be fun. So NASA, of course, first detected earlier this year that there is a interstellar object. We'll call it an interstellar object for now because we don't know what it is. We don't know what it is. That was passing through our solar system, and unlike other, those things, it's not orbiting the sun. It's going to pass straight through the And there's some conspiracy theories online that it was not a rock, that it was quite possibly a spaceship.
I mean, it probably was mostly metal, but it was not constructed.
I'm not even sure what the actual evidence is, other than people being like, "What if this is?"
There is no evidence.
I think it was some guy from Harvard suggested that, according to the story. This story's on a sketchy site. Like, look at the ads that are.
Yeah.
What's the website? Oh,
the NASA quote. The NASA quote is what I'm going to pull for because I had to go to the story that was like to get the information about people saying this before I got to the actual NASA quote. So I have multiple
Yeah.
Multiple episodes, just a rock. Is that easy for you guys?
No,
Yeah, so,
it's actually a spaceship. Like, actually, I'm not I was gonna make a Heaven's Gate reference.
But here's the thing.
Canceled.
And this is like, their default position should always be like.
Mm-hmm.
So in this case, we know that there are millions of just hunks of rock and metal just flying through space randomly. There's mountains and mountains of proof of that. There is zero proof of a alien spaceship ever existing. So when you hear of an unidentified interstellar object, say, okay, is there any actual evidence that it's a spaceship? No, then okay, it's probably just a rock.
I can't wait to read you this quote from NASA. And then I'm going to discuss, I have another couple questions about it. Here's what Tom Statler, a lead scientist at NASA for small bodies, said. It looks like a comet. It does comet things. It very, very strongly resembles in just about every way the comets that we know.
That's it?
That's what he said.
But again, that's the thing. Like they can't outright say, "Oh yeah, it's a comet," because then people will be like, "You don't know that." See, NASA is trying to cook, so he's got to say, "Yeah, we're 99% sure it's a comet, but
it's comet-like in structure."
But again,
here's what I also want to know. Go ahead, Kate. You finish talking. So I might slightly
saying that it's a spaceship is an extraordinary claim, and unless you can provide evidence for that, then no one should just accept your claim.
I feel we have lost Occam's razor.
Extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. I was thinking Occam's razor.
I like it when Kane speaks in platitudes.
We've lost it a little bit, I feel like, in the internet age. Like, yeah, sometimes like that floating rock that's flying by Earth isn't a spaceship that's coming to abduct your cows. Sometimes,
but it could be.
Sometimes it's just a rock.
There is a chance that it is. Is it more likely that it's
it's a comet-like structure?
I love that quote. It's one of my favorite things I read this week.
I just find that ridiculous. The same thing.
If I was graduating high school, that would be my yearbook quote.
Ghosts or they do it all the time. Like, well, it could be this. You can't prove it's not. Like, I don't have to. But that's not how logic works.
How do you think they got the NASA lead scientist to talk about this? Did like a reporter ask him, or did he have to put out a statement because so many people were saying it?
They probably just asked for comment.
Like, yeah, they probably just asked him for like comment. That's
hey, here's what people are saying on TikTok, and the scientist is like, mother. I'm an astro goddamn physicist.
I am certain that if NASA had the budget, they would probably be like constantly speaking out, commenting on these fringe conspiracy theories. They're constantly doing, but they don't. They have a narrow budget, and they have to spend that creating a piece of technology that can land on another planet.
Which they should have a higher budget, by the way. They should. I feel like we should give a lot more money to NASA.
I won't go too much of a rant here.
Is this a controversial statement where people get mad for this?
Yeah, there's some people who believe that like space is none of our business.
Well, there's also people. There's also
what does that mean?
Like, why would we spend money on that? It's none of our business. That's a simple way to put it. There's not an argument.
There's the why are we spending that? Why aren't we spending that money here for things that problems here? There's also the flat Earth, crap. There's the bias coming in. That's an idea. It's not a person. It's an idea.
I have such a funny flat Earth story, and I don't know if I should save it. I'm going to save it.
Yeah, we might need it in the future.
Yeah, it's just
content machine.
Like I get
watch hours, baby.
I get annoyed by stuff like that. Like
I didn't know that was controversial. I thought most people were.
No, like the thing that annoys me about NASA is it gets involved in all these conspiracy theories as if, like, the reason we're not going back to the moon, people are like, well, they did it in the 60s, they can't do it now. But if you look at inflation, their budget then was multiple times what it is now. And space is not like, it's not going to the store. Every single piece of equipment has to be specifically engineered and built for one single purpose.
Don't you have to train people to be able to do that shit too? Like, doesn't that take like years and years?
Yeah, haven't you ever seen the right stuff?
Yeah.
I would assume that thing like why? Well, we went in the 60s. Why can't we go now? Because we stopped making the equipment. It's not like a car. They're not an assembly line. Every piece has to be purpose built and placed, and it can. space shuttles could not go to the moon. They could only orbit the planet. Lunar landers could not orbit for that long. They were built to go to the moon and get back.
If I
things have to be
correctly,
built for their sole purpose when you're dealing with space.
If I understand correctly, NASA's bridged out a lot more into exploring the other planets. All right about that?
I'm not sure.
I'm pretty sure they have, because we've gotten a lot more clear photos of a lot of close celestial
we have
bodies.
The James Webb Telescope went out a couple years ago, which is where a lot of that stuff's coming from. The new deep field shots that they got was, it's fucking beautiful. Like, if you can look at those pictures and not just be in awe, I don't know what the fuck is wrong with
this
you.
This is tangentially
honestly
related to this, but like, did y'all see the picture a few years ago of the black hole?
Yeah. That was
sweet.
that wasn't that long ago.
Yeah.
That was.
It didn't look how I expected it to look. I don't know what I expected, but it wasn't that.
An infinite vacuum.
You know what I remember about that is because to make that image work, it took, I don't remember how many programmers years, millions of lines of code.
To make that work, I take it.
It took millions of lines of code to make it work. And one of the female programmers who worked on it took a picture with the hard drives stacked up of the code she had written. It was like stacks of hard drives of code that she had written for that. Yeah. And she was just one of the contributors. She posted that on the internet, and you want to guess what the reaction to that was?
Was it good job?
It was not.
Was it like, wow, that's impressive?
Are
you are an impressive woman for shattering the glass ceiling in a world typically dominated by men? Was that what the tweet was? They don't have to be 140 characters anymore.
It was not. That was not the reaction.
Oh no. Oh no.
Yeah.
I don't even think you have to say it. I think most people can probably imply it.
Terabytes of data of just programming she had done to make this image possible. And as soon as she posted that picture, like, they just came out of the woodwork.
Yeah.
Well,
freaks.
That is
freaks.
What I didn't
Little
think
fucking
happened.
weirdo goblin freaks.
Should we?
Our bias is coming out a little bit now.
Can we stay with space?
Sure.
Because I have one of my favorite things to do. I have a TikTok. And Insider Baseball, last time we did this, I may have shown them a dead body. We did a practice episode with this. And they got really mad, but this time it's not a dead body.
We didn't get mad.
They were mad.
It wasn't relevant.
No, like, it was just a real crime that was committed.
And you spent the entire time laughing about how the woman runs.
It's a funny run.
So it made it seem like you were laughing about a dead body.
We're moving past it. Okay. We're moving on. Moving on. So we're gonna do some editing, but I want you to see the TikTok.
What the fuck?
All right.
What the fuck? That's actually sweet, though.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not supposed to be
look
real, is it?
What do you guys think it is?
I don't know. Is it not special effects?
No.
I thought it was.
I don't know. He says, hold on. I gotta get back to this.
I'm assuming this is some ARG shit.
I assumed it was literally just supposed to be. I didn't think it was supposed to be real.
No, it's obviously not supposed to be.
No. He claims that he found this thing.
No. Yeah, he claims it, but it's part of a story. It's an ARG.
Yeah, it's entertainment, right?
Yeah. I don't think he's legitimately trying to convince people.
So the story began on TikTok, of course. I'm not going to try to dox anybody or out anybody, even by screen name, but someone posted it on TikTok.
Well, we'll have to credit them.
Yeah, we will. Yeah. So yeah, I guess that's right. So he posted it on TikTok, and in the footage, it's it's like the rock, like you guys saw. It's a rock that's like sprouting gelatinous tentacles out of it, and he claims that he believes it's a meteor.
Lovecrafty.
What do you call it when it hits the Earth? Is it a meteor?
Meteorite, I believe.
Meteorite? Okay. I just remember Creepshow and Stephen King saying meteor shit in that voice, so I'm going to go with meteor. And that, he found it, and so now he has it in a safe in his car. That's where I keep all of
it. Yeah, this is I think what you came across was something called an ARG, or what are they more commonly known as now?
These are fun guesses.
Probably newer.
Well, guys, we don't have to speculate, because the only place where truth ever comes from Reddit has already solved this mystery for us.
Oh no.
It has. So, but it's not special effects. It is chemistry, is what it is. Let me get down to the explanation. I'm sorry. I'm reading off my phone. This is terrible and unprofessional.
We can cut this out.
Or leave it in.
Yeah, whatever.
Fuck
We're not professionals. We never claimed to be.
So Redditor High Strangeness stepped in to provide an actual scientific explanation of the mysterious black substance. And this was he's the Panama, so the language that I said looked Spanish. Fits is where this was filmed. Is not an alien meteorite doing some weird spawn shit, like gooey spawn shit, or what's Venom.
I got Lovecraftian vibes.
Venom. Lovecraft, yeah, that's cool. That's even cooler if it came from space. So it's actually a common reaction when small amounts of hexium, a common organic solvent, are combined with PDMS, a silicone-based polymer. And both these the chemical itself. Let me reread this. We'll cut it because I got thrown off by trying to pronounce.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
I'm just going to call it a silicone-based polymer. So this reaction, according to the Reddit user, High Strangeness, is actually something that happens when a silicone-based polymer is combined with small amounts of hexane, a common organic solvent that's found in lots of cookware implements. So the wiggling and the breathing is a chemical reaction, he believes.
Okay.
He says he's seen similar things.
You wouldn't know this. I was going to ask if...
Science is so boring.
Yeah, I know.
I was going to say, like, are any of these materials, like, hard to get?
No, that's what I said. Like,
okay,
it's
okay.
Yeah, it's a silicone. Like, all of them. He said were pretty easy to come by.
Okay.
And that effect happens. Like, it almost looks like a muscle-like motion when those chemicals are combined. So what? Yeah. So the guy probably
he's making a story. Yeah.
Yeah. He posted the TikTok. He found this cool chemical reaction, probably fucking around at his house, and it looks like a meteor, and it looks like he's making these weird goo tentacles grow from it, and he posted it on TikTok as this weird thing. I just love the idea that he kept it in a safe in the passenger seat of his car.
Yeah.
It screams ARG to me. Everything about that video was so ARG'd. Like, just from him keeping it in his car, the shaky cam footage, just everything screamed it to me.
Well, we learned a lot about, I think, aliens and how real they are today.
Sure.
Did we?
I don't think we did.
I don't think we did at all.
We've also either like drawn people in or turned a lot of people off. Listening to us again. John, the Elder. I'm gonna have to get used to calling you two Elder and younger. Elder, you want to give everyone a rundown of our socials and stuff?
Oh yeah, we are at CH13 on everything. The YouTubes, the Instagrams, the TikToks, all of those things. You can find us there. We don't have a Facebook because we're not your 60-year-old aunt. We don't have a Twitter yet.
Yeah, I've gone 36 years without Facebook. I'm not going to start now.
Formerly known as
and
Twitter.
We're playing with the idea of Blue Sky.
Yeah.
So,
well, we will have a Blue Sky. A Twitter is something we're still
workshopping.
Yeah.
and again, we learned a lot today.
Do we have a set release schedule for these so they know when to look out for them?
So, I'll give you a quick rundown of what the next couple weeks are going to look like. We will have 3 episodes of public access.
Bam! Content. Watch hours.
Yeah. Based on our first episode of The Story Beneath, Atlantis. First episode will be dealing with Pompeii and Olaf Rudbeck. Second episode will be going into Ignatius Donnelly, and the third episode will be going into Plato. And we'll give more
as we get closer.
As we get closer.
But that's 3 weeks of content. And do we have a
Watch
day
hours.
that we are
Content?
Do we have a day that we are set to release these constantly?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
We
don't
talked
know
about
off the top
that.
of my head.
We're gonna try to make it. I know we were gonna drop these on Wednesdays. Was the idea? Wednesdays or Thursdays. either Wednesday afternoons or Thursday mornings. Try to be as consistent as possible, but as we kind of go on, we'll get tentative dates and things like that. So yeah, I mean, we're going to try to be as consistent as possible so we can get them clicks, so we can get you guys your content, so we can get them watch hours, because that is what the yummy YouTube algorithm loves.
And we don't want to have to work regular jobs anymore. So
bye, guys!
Bye. Yes. Thank you for listening.